our eggplant. It's quite a lot from just those 2 eggplants we pulled off, but that'll make a nice dinner. Okay, so now we're ready to cook them up. Take your favorite pan, favorite oil that's good for a higher heat. This just happens to be vegetable oil, about a 1/4 cup or so. You're just going to have like at least a 1/4 inch or so on the bottom of the pan. In a situation like this, I don't like to heat up the pan and then dump that much oil into a hot pan. I'd rather just let the pan heat up the oil, so blast it a little bit. So I'm going to take a saucepan. I've got some homemade sauce that I have made, so we're going to heat that up and use that as the covering for, as the gravy for the Parmesan. Scoop it all out of there. As you can see, this used to be a sour cream container, and it holds leftovers. You know what? Pay Rubbermaid $20 for a pack of their things when you can use something that you were going to buy and have anyway. So rinse it and use it again. Run it through the dishwasher. You know the oil's ready when it starts to dance around a little bit. I always use a bread ball as a tester. Drop one in. If it starts to sizzle like that, then you kind of know the oil's about ready. So what you want to do is put them in, but put them in so that they have a little bit of space in between them. They don't all need to be touching each other, so this way all the rounds get crispy. Just take it and just place it right in. You start to hear all the sizzling. And if you slice them all pretty much the same thickness, then it takes about the same time to cook. Now you're going to, when you throw them in the broiler, it's just to, get the cheese all melted and bubbly on it, so you want to make sure they're cooked through, as opposed to undercooking them because you're going to spend some time in the oven. These aren't going to spend a lot of time under the broiler. So there'll be a couple batches to get them all cooked. You see it? It's cooking up right, nice. You'll kind of start to see the edges turn nice and golden brown. When that happens, you just turn them over. See this one here, the edge is kind of, and if you stay with it, just turning them, you don't want them to get too brown too quickly. I can't tell you I have a time limit on how long I cook these. It's all visual for me. I mean, you can touch them and you'll feel that if they're still firm, then they're not cooked. They're going to give if they're cooked through. Now it's time to turn this heat down a little bit, because we were blasting it to get it hot, so we don't want it to browning up a little bit faster than it's cooking through. And again, these weren't floured, and I don't have problems with the breading coming off. My breading always stays the way Mama did it, the way I'm doing it. A lot of cooking is, though. A lot of people they cook what they saw, what they grew up with, what they learned. I learned from watching, not really from even asking questions, just from watching. Now what you do want to do when these are done is you want to get them salted as soon as you get them done, because that's the best time to affect the flavor and get the salt on them. Basically you're looking for a nice golden brown on both sides. If you're watching them and you're flipping them, they're not going to burn on you. Now you can see it has a little bit of give to it. You can push it down. You know that it's getting cooked on that inside there because it has some give to it. Not a bounce, but a give. So we just have a wire rack with paper towels on it, and we're just going to take them off as we get done. Bread balls usually get done first. It goes right off, right onto the... Take our eggplant pieces, take them off. Usually I'll get a few pieces off, and then while the others are still in there, I'll start adding some new pieces so that with the temperature changes, it kind of keeps it in check by having a little bit of both going on. I'm going to get the pan filled. You have a few seconds with the oil, not a lot of time. I wouldn't give it more than a minute or so. to really try to get back and get the salt on it. So we're just going to come through and give them a shake of salt while they're nice and hot. Nice and golden brown. Nothing like fresh from the garden eggplant. You can't get that taste or flavor from the store. You just can't. Picked the same day, literally cooked hours after it was picked. Like now all the eggplant are cooked. What I'm going to do is go ahead and get them all Parmesan. Have our eggplant or gravy, homemade gravy. So you just put a couple spoonfuls in the bottom, about 3 spoonfuls or so, and just kind of spread it around on the bottom there. Do that, you just start taking some eggplant and putting it around in a circle all around. And then once you get a round going, you just come back and put a little bit of gravy over each one. So a little spoon over each one. Your cheese, we're going to do Parmesan. One is going to be provolone, actually. So I'm going to take this provolone cheese and I'm going to put it right down here, smack on this one layer. And then we'll build a little bit around it. And over here we've got some grated mozzarella. A couple pieces around it. And a scoop of gravy on them. And then last piece of provolone, I'm going to break it up so that it covers these pieces and gets everything all nice and gooey. Cover these up. Cheese. So they're going to look like that. You got one, you got two, and then they just go right in the broiler. And right here in the broiler. Bang and boom. Okay, so now they've been in for not even 5-6 minutes. And right out. And you can see how nice and melted the cheese is, a little bit of color on top. Same thing here, nice and melted. The only thing you need to top it off is just some fresh basil you took from your garden right outside, chopped it up real quick, put it on while it's nice and hot. And the heat is going to activate all the oils in the basil and give you the aroma. The only thing left is to enjoy. Absolutely perfect. Eggplant Parmesan. Mr. How-To.